Hello, my name is Tiffany McTaggart and I'm bringing you this week's Rural Roundup. With the wet weather that we've been having recently, many of you will be just getting your head down to get through the winter. Thoughts are also turning to making sure that some of the paperwork's done and making sure that you've applied for the schemes that you're taking part in. I've got an update on a lot of these dates for you today. If you are part of the Scottish Upland Sheep Support Scheme, I'm afraid the deadline has now passed. Those applications had to be in by the 30th of November. If you're part of the Scottish Suckler Beef Support Scheme, there is still time to put your application in. Applications need to be in by the 30th of December. This is for all calves which have been born on your holding and you have kept them for 30 days. Most of you will have now heard about preparing for sustainable farming, and many of you have already undertaken soil sampling and carbon audits so you can take part in the scheme. If you haven't already heard about it, it'd be a good idea to go and have a look at the full guidance on the Rural Payments and Services website. So what is available is the soil sampling available. As a minimum requirement, you're required to have pH, P, K and some kind of carbon test. So it's been a great opportunity which many farmers have taken to go and try out GPS soil sampling for the first time, for example. There's also funding available for carbon audits as well. These carbon audits have to be completed by the 31st of December. And for the carbon audits, you need to have recommendations from an FAS advisor. There's a full list of FAS advisors on the Lantra website. So for both the soil sampling and the carbon audits, you're able to claim your grant funding if these were carried out between the 1st of January 2022 and the 31st of December 2022. Invoices and payments have to be made before the claim can go in. The deadline for claims for this is the 28th of February. So for making your claim for the carbon audit, you will need to be able to provide what your total emissions were for your farm business. You will also need to provide the FAS number of the advisor who provided you with recommendations, as well as providing your bank statement and proof of payment. This is the same for the carbon audit. You need a bank statement, or it could be a credit card statement, and proof of payment is needed. As well as this, you need to upload your soil sampling results. So make sure that you've got all the minimum requirements on those results. And you also need to be able to provide your total emissions from your carbon footprint. So for claiming the soils, you have to have had a carbon audit done since the 1st of January 2019. For those of you who took part in the Sustainable Agricultural Capital Grant Scheme, these also have to be claimed by the 28th of February. Just like the Preparing for Sustainable Farming ones, which I've just mentioned, you've got to have got the items by the 31st of December, and payment has to be made before you claim the items. So for the claims for this, you will be needing your bank statement and your invoice just to show that you've paid for it. You'll also need to provide geotagged photographs of the items on your farm, just to provide evidence that you have them. So if you get a bit stuck, just speak to your local advisor. I'm sure somebody will be able to help you. For those of you who are currently in an EECS contract, that's an agri-environmental climate scheme, if you said you were going to be doing capital items during 2022, the work has to be completed by the 31st of December, and you've got to have made payment and put in your claim by the 28th of February 2023 as well. So I hope you've managed to get up to date on all those dates. Just in other news, avian influenza is on the rise again. There's definitely a lot of cases going around now. There's stricter biosecurity measures now in place, so make sure you brush up on what the security measures are. This is relevant whether you have a large number of poultry or just a few pet chickens. It's relevant to everybody. Avian influenza is a notifiable disease as well, so if you see any cases, whether in your own flock or in the wild birds, you do need to report this. Thank you for listening. I'll see you again next time.